started. Thank you for letting me come in. What we're going to do today is we're going to start to put together the pieces that we began with last year. We're going to kind of tie them together, set a purpose for why we are tying them together, and help that so it's going to make it preparing our students for a possibility of going to the Smarter Balance test. So here we go. Let's review what we've kind of looked at last year. Yep, we know we have to teach the core content standards. Okay, we've been there. We know we have to focus on all of Iowa core mathematics. Coupled with that, we also have the standards of mathematical practice. There were 8 of those. We'll be coming up with a review of those. We talked about those last year. We also talked about Webb's depth of knowledge. We'll review that in just a moment. We also talked about creating number sense for our students, and we did that through the vehicle of the number talk. All those pieces we hit really hard last year. So, recall, our core says we've got 3 shifts. Focus, coherence, and rigor. Okay, focus. That means I am eliminating teaching everything all the time. That mile wide, inch deep, we're trying to eliminate that. We're trying to narrow our focus so we can go deeper. Now, narrowing the focus doesn't mean it's still not really tough to get it all in, because we already know it is. The coherence piece, all of the math was created starting with the got to be career and college ready when I graduate. So they back mapped everything through so that we'd have a good progression. Everything builds, we've got a strong foundation coming up. That's what the coherence is. And the rigor is in 3 parts. It is first the conceptual understanding. You're going to have that repeated frequently today. That's the part almost all of us are lacking in. We weren't prepared that way as educators to teach our children. We did not experience school that way. So that's tough for all of us. That's one part of rigor, is conceptual understanding. Then we have the procedural skill and fluency. Because yes, we do want some things to be memorized. We want them to have efficient ways to do it. And the last part of rigor is the application part, to do problems that are new to the students, and they can use things that they've already learned and attack the problems. So we did that piece to begin with. These were the standards of mathematical practice. I gave you the Cliff Notes version here, just to have you a refresher of what we did last year. I'm going to tell you one of them that is kind of getting the name of a Trojan horse, kind of a tough one to do, is number 3. Construct viable arguments and critique the reasoning of others. Now, that one should span all curricular areas. I should be able to say, I think my opinion is right because, and listen to somebody else's idea and be able to judge that validly. So that number 3 is really, really critical, and it doesn't matter if it's math or ELA or social studies or science, behavior, whatever we've got going on. So those are our SMPs, Standards of Mathematical Practice. We've been those. If you had your Iowa Core book, it's on page 8, 9, and 10. I gave you a handout of those last year. If you keep it, you've got that, complete with the page descriptions. We also talked about Webb's depth of knowledge, and I gave you this poster last year, and I pointed out, look, these are not in a sequential order, and that means I don't have to have level 1 understood before I can go on to level 2, before I can go on to level 3. And we talked about the extended reasoning, the DOK level 4, not applying to us as far as the core is concerned in the elementary. It's in high school geometry where that appears. So we have to deal with 1, 2, and 3. Remember, our textbooks are fabulous at DOK 1s. They're moderate at DOK 2, and they're very lacking in DOK 3s. So we really need to work on that strategic reasoning, and so we're going to give you some ways to do that. We also talked about number talks. Remember, that's your 5 to 15 minutes where we are asking students to do some purposefully crafted questions that I want to build on mentally. And we are asking our students to communicate to us what they're thinking, some think alouds, to justify it, to listen to others, because we need more than one vehicle to get in. Okay, that's all a review from last year. Is that kind of fuzzy back in your head that you've listened to all those kind of things? Okay.